Okay, this is one of those videos where I get halfway through a job and I think, do you know what, I ought to video this. So here we go. We've got the Countax. Yeah, it's a 38-inch cut with a sweeper on the back, and I think it's great. And it was bought second hand quite a few years ago now, when the other one that we'd had for a long time was starting to give me a fair bit of grief. Anyway, last week, I've got a bit of a duff knee at the moment, so things are a bit difficult, but last week it just stopped driving. It was cutting, but it wouldn't drive forward. So I just thought, okay, the drive belt's come off. No, that's not the case. I thought, alright, the hydraulic fluid in the back axle is a bit low. No, that's not the case. And I'm just zooming in here into that orifice there, and you can get to this from underneath the seat, and you see that oval at the back there, that there inspection hole. Well, that's the little header tank for the back axle, and you can pop the little one-way valve out and top it up, but it didn't need it. There it is down there. Yeah, so I think, oh, what's going on? And then the next thing I thought was, where are we? You see this lever here. Now that's pulled out at the moment because I did move this, but that little lever there, when it's fully in, it's in drive, and it's difficult to push the mower, and when you pull it out, it is you can push the mower about, but it won't drive. So I thought, is there any way that this has got pulled out? But no, it hadn't. So belt, hydraulics, and transport mode. So then you start looking a bit further. Anyway, I've dragged, let's just zoom out. I've taken the deck off just because I thought I might need to take the back axle off. And the deck is a 5-minute job to remove. It's 5 pins and just flip the belt off. So that wasn't too bad. So we removed that, and I thought I'll remove the seat because it'll flop around, and that's just a pin and pull the rod out. So that's not too bad. And then of course I've got it on a turfer winch from a bit of timber screwed to the beams, but the screws have got big washers on, and that is a bit of cherry, and you notice that the rope there is close to one end, not in the middle. So that's fine because there's not a lot of weight. So there we go. And I'll show you what I found. So here we go. So this is one of the stub axles. I thought, that's not right. What? I've actually ground this off here, ready to weld that in. But look at that. It's actually snapped. And let's just zoom in a bit. From what I can gather, that dark area there, it's been cracked for quite a long time, and it's just been driving on a little bit here and a little bit there. Whether or not that's right or not, I don't know. So I popped this in the lathe and just created that bevel there, and I'm going to attempt to weld this back together because it is outside of the gearbox. So that bush comes off. Let's zoom in a bit more. So that bush comes off there, yeah, and we've got a washer. Well, I'm going to leave the washer there because that's an oil seal there.
And if you get a leak, if you lose hydraulic fluid out of these, it's normally leaks there. And there are various videos on YouTube about replacing those seals. I don't think it's that difficult. So we'll leave that washer there to protect that. And I've beveled that, and just there is the end of the keyway. So I think we can clamp this like that. But I think we could just... That is slightly dished and worn. So this could have been flexing for quite a while. There's a sharp edge there. So I'm just going to grind that. And then we'll put that like that and put that like that. And just tack it together. Tack, tack. And then turn the axle a bit. Tack, tack. And try and... so that it doesn't bend with the heat. So let's give it a go.
Right, so we've got that set up with that angle iron, hopefully holding it fairly straight, and these very nice old clamps holding it right in the corner there. So I'll try and tack it. First of all, disconnect the battery, etc. Don't know why, but something to do with arc welding. And I'll get back to you maybe halfway through. I was imagining that I'd have to have the whole of this axle out and then split the axle in half and draw out the half shaft, but luckily it's snapped where I can get to it, and it makes no sense to take it all apart. I might take that other hub off and just inspect the half shaft there, just to see. But this looks like, from the scrapes and stuff on it, and the fact that the surface of that brake on the axle side was sort of dished a bit, looks like it's been flexing for quite a while. Right, let's just crack on. So there we go. I've welded that up, and I quenched the shaft this end next to that seal, but not on the weld itself. It's pretty warm still. There's a bit there that I missed, but I don't propose to do anything about that. I think we've got a decent weld there. So all I'll do is let it cool down and then grind that back. If that hole is any worse, I might just grind it out and weld it again. But it looks like it's half decent weld apart from that. So there you go. I'll get back to you when we start putting it back together. But I really didn't fancy taking this axle out, although it's not that bad. I think it is 4 bolts either side. There, see that? And 2 at the front. Then, let's move round the side. Right, we're on wobbly cam. That thing there is the anchor plate, so you undo that bolt and that just stops the axle from tipping, and then this rod here is the control, and you just undo one of the lock nuts and draw that out, I believe. Yeah, there's it's threaded, and there's adjustment there. That feels like it, but you'd investigate that. So effectively it's not that bad to get the axle out. That's all I'm saying.
There we go. Brilliant. Right. Clean that out. So now, I'll just put a bit of oil on there. I'll have to keep an eye on that seal. Yeah, or the concrete under which this sits, just to see that it doesn't leak. I think we quenched it in time. So there you go. I shall just put all that lot back together now. Put the hub back on with the keyway and the circlip, and that's better than I thought. So it just goes to show, investigate, and things sometimes are not as bad as you imagine. Hopefully you've enjoyed this brief tale of adventure and struggle, and we will catch up with you very soon. Comments and criticisms always welcome. Ideas even better. Cheers. What happens? Choke on. I think that's smooth enough, don't you?